All right, go.
I'm rocking with Don Kalam.
Let's go. Peace and love, peace and love. You're now rocking to the sounds and vibrations of your boy, Don Kalam, also known as Malik Kalam. As always, prosperity is your divine birthright. I'm always in something new. Fuck what y'all talking about. It's your boy, Don Kalam. I don't know what time it is, man. I'm always in something new. I had this bitch a few weeks. MSOs, learn about them. But I'm gonna drop some game. Manufacturer statement of origin. That's what the Amish get. If the Amish go buy a tractor or anything like that, they need the MSO. Promise you. That's real private law. That's how you really sell it to a corporation. Then when you register it to the states and you get the title, they destroy the original manufacturer statement of origin. I'm not licensed as an attorney, tax expert. This for educational, informational purposes only. Much peace and love. Make sure y'all text Private Life to 702-200-4900. Again, text Private Life to 702-200-4900. Now, I don't suggest everybody showing their MSOs on the internet. None of that. Get your shit. Quit showing personal information on the internet because people will jack your shit and recopy your shit. Promise you. Because you can get blank MSOs. This is what y'all after. Y'all after the ducats. Y'all after the ducats. Y'all after the fucking ducats. But look. I'm not here to show it off, you know what I mean? But boy, keep the bag. I keep the bag. Keep the bag. We gonna drop some game today. Let me know where you tapped in and tuned in at. Happy Sunday, everybody. Peace and love to the world, whether you tap it into the live. I'm on the Instagram live right now. Don Kalam _legacy. DONKILAM _LEGACY. Don Kalam _legacy on the Instagram. But if you want to find me, tap in at theschool.com/Don Kalam. That's SKOOL.com/DONKILAM. All right, we got Nola in the building. I'm guessing that's LA. I don't know. You gotta spell it out for me. Peace and love. Let me know where you tapped in and tuned in from. I want to drop some game. This is some true trusteeship. I've been in the Midwest lately. I've been in Columbus, Cleveland, Chicago, Detroit. I've been hitting all these areas. New Orleans. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking New Orleans. Shout out to Colorado. Shout out to San Antonio. I was in St. Louis too. Shout out to the west side of St. Louis, man. I used to stay in O'Fallon Park and North County. But shout out to the Midwest for sure. I just don't tell y'all gonna get mad when I say this because I'm from the Midwest. I'm from the St. Louis area. Y'all gonna get mad when I say this. The women I don't like the women in the Midwest. They're not as beautiful. Like Atlanta, Atlanta, they're beautiful. There's like 7 women to 1 man because everybody is, you know. Shout out to Oklahoma and Texas. But the Midwest women ain't wearing that and they crazy. I ain't saying everybody though. I'm just saying the ones I run into, you know? So I feel like that's a sign from the Most High. That's a sign from the Most High. Let me tell you about this too, cannabis, before I get started. There's 5 elements. You got earth, air, fire, water, and then spirit. All right, this comes from the earth. I add water to it when I lick and light it up. I light it up, I add fire. All right, I inhale, exhale air. So earth comes from the earth. I add fire, I add water. All right, earth, air. And it gets me in tune with my spirits. You feel me? So it hits all 5 elements, man. Just want to throw it out there. I ain't trying to confuse y'all, though. Let's get straight to that. Let's get straight to the game. The United States Corporation, there's a difference between the United States Corporation in America. America is the republic. America is the land. Sorry, I ain't trying to make y'all dizzy. I'm trying to make this shit straight. So America is the land. Think about this. Donald Trump says, make America great again. He didn't say make the United States great again. He said make America great again. Now America, North America, South America, these are continents. The United States is a republic. Your state would be considered your country. I'm trying to break this down in legal, so you understand legal terms. Pull the seat down. So your state is considered your country or your nation. Your state can be considered your nation. Hence the term nationality. Hence the term, if you live in Texas, you can be a Texan. Hence the term Hawaiian, if you live in the state of Hawaii or your country of Hawaii. If you live in the country of whatever country you live in. See, Africa is the continent. Kenya would be the country. So they'd be Kenyan. Sierra Leone would be the country of the nation, so that would be a Sierra Leonean. Nigeria would be the country, so they would be Nigerian. Don't nobody from Africa say they're African. Let that sink in, everybody. Tell me the last person that came from Africa said, hey, I'm African. No, they say I'm Nigerian. They represent their tribe. They represent their nation. Only people who don't represent their nations are y'all motherfuckers over here in the United States Corporation. Slave mentalities. Tribal people understand I'm Kenyan. All right? And then they'll tell you which tribe they come from Kenya. All right? Let me just break this down real quick. You can look at how many tribes are in Kenya. Because I help people all over the world, okay? I got people in Sierra Leone, I got people in Kenya, I got people in Nigeria, I got people in Ghana. There's 42 tribes in Kenya with different languages and cultures that all merge to become the unique mix of Kenyan culture. Some people say there's 45 tribes in Kenya. Nonetheless, there's over 40 tribes in Kenya. Okay? And you need to understand tribal life, private life. Tribal life is private life. The Amish are a tribe, gang. The United States Corporation are a tribe, gang. You see how that works? The Freemasons are a tribe, gang. The Catholic Church is a tribe, gang. This is how it works. I'm not even going to bring up no band of Indians because Indians are in India. India is the country. You see how that works? So I'm just trying to break down nationality today, break down tribal language, break down countries, break down corporation, understand the difference between the republic and the corporation. Vladimir Putin used to be the prime minister, which runs the republic. Now he's the president, which runs the corporation. There's a difference. Presidents run corporations. Presidents run corporations. Let's look at the positions within corporations.
We'll be back after a quick break.
Peace and love, it's your boy Don Kalam, and welcome to Dream Keepers Radio, that private life podcast. You're here, tuned in with your boy, and this is brought to you by Follow the Yellow Brick Road by Don Kalam. Search the book on Amazon now. Go get the book and uncover the matrix and how the United States is operating in the financial marketplace. Much peace and love. shareholders, directors, officers. So look, shareholders, directors, and officers. We're going to go straight to the officers because the president would be an officer of a corporation. You see how that works? The prime minister, he's the prime minister. Minister, it says it right in the game, right in the name. The number one minister. You got CEO, chief executive officer, chief financial officer, chief operations officer. Or president. President would be the title. Human resources. So common corporate office positions include chief executive officer, CEO, president, vice president, chief operation officers, chief financial officers, treasurer. Does that sound like the United States Corporation? Don't they have a treasury? That's the treasurer. We have a treasurer. Who is the treasurer of the United States? Not America. The United States. The president of the Treasurer's Office, Treasurer of the United States, is Michael Hillegas. So you gotta understand that's a trust too. Because he's the president. He's the president of the corporation created within trust, private corporations, all right? I'm hoping I'm breaking this down. So far, let me know in the comments. Does this make sense? Drop a fire emoji, 100. Just let me know. This is why you should join the school. This is why you should join my DK's private business circle at school.com/Kalam. Break all this shit down. Start reading. Start doing your research. Because everybody, where do I get this information from? Where do I get the research? Well, I got a whole school for you, filled with a lot of information. Go to school.com/DonKilam, SKOOL.com/DONKILAM. If you need a link sent to you, text private life to 702-200-4900. He says the school is amazing. We're getting fire emojis. We're getting 100s. Because a lot of people don't know, I break this information down. I just did a video on learning how to make an oath of allegiance with your state to become part of the republic. An oath of allegiance. You can tap this into chat GPT because this is not Don Kalam's information. This is not new. This information is available out here if you would be in the law libraries every day. A lot of y'all don't want to study. Y'all don't want to put forth that work, not understanding that the law is what controls you out here because you're in a commercial jurisdiction. Well, how can I be in a commercial jurisdiction, Don? Well, you was born with a certificate. And you stamped it with your foot. All right? There's a lot that goes behind that, okay? But that's a commercial jurisdiction. It's printed on security paper. Certificate means title of ownership. It looks just like your car title. Look at the car title and look at the birth certificate. So I'm teaching about MSO's manufacturer statement of origin. See, everything in the United States system goes through an express trust, which you can give verbal consent. You can give verbal consent. Everybody that works in the public sector of the United States, the public sector means the part of the economy that the government controls, not the private sector. The Amish are part of the private sector of the economy. The United States are part of the public sector. So everything in the public sector goes to the United States Corporation. Everything in the public sector becomes an asset of the United States Corporation. So the United States is really the United States Corporation, 28 U.S.C. 3002, subsection 15A. United States means federal corporation. For everybody that's new, I'm going to say it really slow. 28 U.S.C. 3002, subsection 15A. United States means federal corporation. United States citizen means United States business. These are federal codes and statutes. The United States is really a capitalist society. Now, in a republic, it's a free market society, and most people do not understand this. In this jurisdiction of the United States Corporation, it's called laissez-faire, which means less government restriction when learning about the private sector. When you learn about the private sector, It's laissez-faire, and it's less government restriction. Our founding fathers who created this United States corporation and the United States Constitution, they knew about being private. They knew about private families. They set it all up for private families. All right? And so the best position to be in is an entrepreneur, a board member, or a trustee position within the United States jurisdiction. Because you can't keep working against the system. It's there set up for you. It's set up for you to thrive in. Unless you're going to use the Social Security number and the birth certificate as identity in commerce, which makes you pledge your labor for the bankruptcy. The United States is under bankruptcy. I have a national debt clock. Look it up. United States corporation under bankruptcy, which means corporations can file poverty. And a lot of people don't understand this. Corporations can file poverty, and that's what's happened to you in your name. When you're born, you were given something called this birth certificate, and they created you into a business. And when you come into the public, you're operating as an unincorporated association and a sole proprietorship, and you're liable for all the business debt. And it's owned enough to control everything. So when you die, and your car's in your name, and you have it in you have a car title, no MSO, no family trust, your name's not a business, you're using a Social Security number, the government can come seize that. If you don't pay your taxes, the government can come seize that. The government can come kick you off your land, can come kick you off your house. Real talk. You can't hand down nothing to your family with the Social Security number without it going through court and the government getting its cut first. When you die, the Social Security number dies with you. You can't hand down the Social Security number. When everything is in the Social Security number, you can't hand it down without it going through something called probate. So understand, estate planning, this is what you could call it. You can call it asset protection. It's the private life. It goes by many different names when you start to comprehend and understand it and overstand it. But when you have your trust established, and look, just start somewhere. Don't get confused on it. If the first thing that comes to you is a living trust, then learn how to utilize it. Now, there's going to be certain restrictions and protections. You can learn as you go. Get around the real people, okay? But I'm going to tell you right now, I would only use a living trust in the state of South Dakota. All right? The trusts that we like to utilize are 501c1as, faith-based ministries. All right. I like to use my non-grantor spendthrift trust. I use that, and I use unincorporated associations. My main go-to is an unincorporated association. All you have to do is create bylaws, but then find your favorite chat GPT. So create me an unincorporated association. All right. Create the bylaws. You're just going to need bylaws. Include non-disclosure agreements, non-compete agreements, hold harmless agreements, and indemnity clauses within there. In the membership, however you want it to be a member, whether it's blood ties, marriage, however you can be a member, include that in there as well. And then a banking resolution, and then a mission statement. Why are you in business? And then find you the EIN. If you go to the school, I'll show you how to get EINs with no Social Security number attached to that EIN. And that's the private life. That's it. And that's how we operate. And any normal bank will take these because it's establishing your law. When you go to a bank and you don't have your proper documentation, you're going off their clauses. You're going off their rules. If you don't have an operating agreement for your LLC, you're going off their rules. And that's the same way with the trust. Don't just go in there and create no basic trust. Make sure you got your rules. All right? You got to learn how to be private. And that's it about being a trustee. You got to learn how to be private. This isn't yours. It's the trust. You work for the trust. You work for the beneficiaries. You work to grow the trust and to make sure the beneficiaries are well taken care of. In America, it's free enterprises. In other countries, being an employee may be the best position, but not in America. You want to be an entrepreneur. You have to be strategic and learn proper and private education. You know? It's tax avoidance versus tax evasion. So when you come into the world and you're introduced to a certificate-based society at birth, The birth certificate is printed on American banknote paper, and this isn't by accident. This shows you the society of contracts, because contract is law. We can look at marriage certificates. Same thing. Car titles, same thing. Contract is law. Everything is contracts in America. Well, United States. In the United States of America. If you can sign it for the government, you are signing a contract in a commercial jurisdiction. I don't care what you sign, whether it's your ID, birth certificate, social security card, that's a commercial jurisdiction if you're signing something, okay? If you're filling out forms, that's a commercial jurisdiction. So it's not up to the government to teach you the corporate side of things. That's your family's job and your school's job to understand and teach the rules of your environment. So this is why we come from private families. This is how we get our private education, through private families. Let me know if this is making sense to everybody. Dropping 100. Fire emoji. This is my guy. Continue to keep his hand over you. Learning so much information is gold. Make sure y'all tap into school if y'all ain't tapped into the school. So the system was established to allow people to be taxed and to pay upon their debts. The system is truly based upon charity. This one 100, getting the fire emojis. And that's why I teach people church versus state. Everything is charity. Look at the churches, look at the hospitals, schools, cities, counties. Everything is based upon charity. Endowments and donations. So being in the system is charity. And the only reason why the government gives handouts is because it receives handouts from the Social Security Trust. The main thing I want everybody to understand is sesticate vibe means beneficial use. So you can, with the Social Security system, you can only receive beneficial use of this. You can only receive handouts. Trustee grows the trust. They don't take handouts. They use the money to make money. They grow the trust, they grow the family. That's why I say family trust. Grow the trust, grow the family. When you understand the Social Security Trust, it's really for the government. So they're always going to grow it for them. And you get the least. You get the least. Understand the jurisdictions that you're in. But when you're operating with a trust and private corporations and with the private life, you're outside of codes and statutes. You're outside of codes and statutes. Article 1, Section 10 of the Constitution guarantees your right to contract. And that's the private law. This is why the Amish don't have to follow United States codes and statutes. They have their own creeds and codes the same way with other entities and jurisdictions. Just look up tribal courts. Tribal courts in America, they have real tribal courts in America. When you learn that you're royalty, you learn how to file the right political status, then you start going to the higher courts of justice. And as simple as that. If you follow under if you're a Muslim, look up Sharia law, SHARRIA. If you're Jewish, it's back then. Amish have their own laws. Mormons have their own laws. Catholics have their own laws for the higher ups. Even the Nation of Islam has their own courts. A lot of people don't understand this. The Moors have their own courts in Philadelphia. A lot of people don't understand this because you have to be part of the private life, and it's proven through family Bible records. It's proven through patents of nobility and patents of nativity, and baby land deeds. But a lot of people's not ready for this. But that's why you need to tap into DK's private business circle at school.com/Don Kalam. SKOO. Oh no, y'all. My bad. I'm screenshotting this. He said, been attracting so much blessings since I started listening to your teachings. Forever thankful. Much peace and love. But go to school.com/Don Kalam, SKOOL.com/DONKILAM, or text private life to 702-200-4900. Again, text private life to 702-200-4900. Much peace and love.
Flavor Flav in the building. So Don Kalam, keep doing your thing, G. Hey, yo, check 1, 2. This is Flavor Flav in the building, you know what I'm saying? Word up. Hey, yo, make sure y'all check out the song bars, you know what I'm saying? Word up by my man Don Kalam. You heard? A Fresco King. Yeah, boy. You know what time it is. Make sure y'all check out the bars by my boy. All right? Flavor Flav in the building. Yo, Don Kalam, keep doing your thing, G.